What's up? I know it's been a while, man. Life's been lifing, man. Life's been lifing. But what's good, man? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Tony, aka Two Tone, and today, during international break, some news came out a couple days ago that I knew I eventually wanted to talk about when I had the chance, and I'm sure you've already seen it, but it is regarding the links to Nico Schlotterbeck and Dayot Upamecano. This is from Gabriel Sands. I think I've seen him before. I think he's pretty reliable. So this is coming from him. They're saying that Nico Schlotterbeck and Dayot Upamecano are both on Barca's shortlist for next summer. Club scouts have recently traveled to Germany to monitor several players with a strong focus on center backs. That's good. Obvious, but you just never know. So it's good that they are focused on a weakness. Schlotterbeck is tied to Dortmund until 2027, while Upamecano becomes a free agent next summer. So we're about to dive into what I think about this. I want to know your guys' opinion. Definitely comment down below. So I'm gonna start off with Nico Schlotterbeck, because between the two, if I had to pick, I would personally want to go with Nico. His contract is up in the summer of 2027, so his estimated value is around 40 million. It could possibly be even lower than that, because with his contract running down, and there's already news coming out that he's not willing to re-sign with Dortmund. So we'll be talking to him with a year left, and if he prioritizes a move to Barcelona, then that could be a situation where we can come in and offer a little less than 40, probably about 30, 35 for a player of that quality. In his prime, he's only 25. By that time, next summer, he'll be 26. And to get him on a 5-year deal for around 30 million, 35 million, I think that'd be really good business for Barcelona. Looking at one thing that we need at center back, though, is sustainability. Players who we can rely on week in and week out. And so I pulled up his injury history, and for the most part, he's been fine. The only issue that he had is when he had that long injury last season, that meniscus tear, that had him out 20 games, 156 days. But outside of that, he really don't get long-term injuries. And it's nice to see that since coming back from that injury, he hasn't really had any relapse. Because that happened in April. Came back around September. But from September 10th to September 18th, they had him rested. And then he's only been out with illness. So since he's come back from that injury, he hasn't, had to rest due to that knee. And if I'm looking at his season so far this year, he's played 10 matches. And it's not going to let me. Okay. 10 matches, all in all. 6 of us been in the Bundesliga. This has been his best form. It's been in the Bundesliga. And the German Cup, the DFB Pokal, I believe is how you say it. Champions League hasn't been the best, if I'm just simply going off match ratings. But I wouldn't really worry about that, if I'm being honest. But Nico Schlotterbeck, man, I mean, if you're looking at his last few games, he didn't have a good game against City. And I do remember watching that. I mean, it's tough to have a good game against City, but he didn't really have a good game against that. But as far as his league's form, him with the German national team against other, I mean, he had a pretty good, I mean, damn. Was this only 20 minutes? Okay, so was he a sub? Yeah, he didn't start, so he came on 20 minutes. I'm not even going to count that against him. I'm not even going to count that against Schlotterbeck. In form, and as far as the league goes, he he's been playing really well. My only concern is when you're a German player, your numbers, your stats will only show that you shine your best in the Bundesliga. How would you fare playing outside of the Bundesliga? Because when you get a chance to play outside of the Bundesliga in the Champions League, your numbers really don't look all that impressive. If I'm just looking at this, I'm not going to sit here and act like I watch all of Dortmund games. Hell, only time I probably watch Dortmund is if they're playing a big match in the Bundesliga. 9 times out of 10 if they're playing against Bayern Munich. So I want to know what you guys think. If you had to pick between Nico, and I'm going to get into Upamecano as well. But if you had to pick between the two, which one would you rather go with? Nico is off a long-term injury that he sustained at the end of last year, but outside of that, he's really not injured like that. He's really not. Like, we dating back until 2021. The longest stretch that he had was him being out for a month, from October 1st to November. And then it looks like he relapsed. And the same day he came back, he relapsed and then picked up a hamstring injury. So all in all, that's a little over 104 days that he was out. But that was when he was with Union Berlin. So yeah, he's really not injury prone. Like I said, from his stats, it looks like he plays his best in the Bundesliga. So I'll be curious to see how he plays outside of the Bundesliga for Barcelona, with maintaining the high line and a new language. And you know, at Barcelona, it usually takes time for guys to settle in. So I still think it's a market opportunity, obviously. And I think that's one of the reasons why Barcelona are interested. Good center back, but with the player has already put out there that he's not thinking about extending, signing a new contract, and he's going to be down to a year left. We can come to Dortmund and give them a fair offer, but an offer that we feel is fair because we have the upper hand in negotiation. Again, especially if he prioritizes Barcelona. I'm sure he's going to have Premier League interest as well. I'm sure Bayern may be interested in him because they may want to replace the player next that we're going to talk about, which in this tweet, they not only not mentioned Nico, but Upamecano. Looking at his player profile, his contract is up next summer. So though he's valuated at 60, Barcelona don't have to worry about paying that because he will be a free agent. And he just turned 27, so that makes him like a year older than Nico. So they're about the same as far as where they're at in their careers. But this would definitely be something I can see Barcelona at least trying to go for, just because of the market opportunity. Again, Barcelona don't have the most money. It's nice to see that the new camp is getting back to the standards where we were accustomed to as far as being able to get back in there and start to see fans. I think we may have up to 60,000. Somebody let me know if I'm wrong on that, but I believe if they open up at 40, then they're already looking for an extension to 60,000. So I bring up the stadium because the money will start coming in, but I just think it's too soon to spend money on a center back for about 60 million and still look for a striker and possibly another winger or fullback. We really need players in multiple parts of the field, but spending 60 million would be out of the option. The reason why I believe he's considered a target is just because the fact he's a free agent. And if you start for Bayern Munich week in and week out, and you can get that type of player for free, understanding Barcelona's financial situation, it makes sense on why Barcelona would be interested. Now, one of my concerns with Upamecano, for what I know, is he is injured relatively, well, at least it felt that way. He got 2 pages worth. That's already more than Nico. So yeah, cartilage damage, had him out for 76 days. That's a little over 2 months. Not gonna count rest. Hip problems, a week. I'm not gonna really count these right here. If you're out here and there for a week, like whatever, bro. Like with this schedule, if you're out one game and then you're back the next, then it's not really all that big of a deal. Now he was, so in 2024, 2025, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times he was put on the injury report. He missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 19 games in total last season. That is kind of high. Looking at 2023, 2024, out 2 weeks, 2 games, 8 games with a hamstring, abductor pain. So it's 8, 9. He missed 9 games in 2023, 2024. It's really not that, since he's joined Bayern, it really hasn't been that bad at all. I'm gonna be honest. If anything, he was injured a lot with RB Leipzig. He was on the report a lot on there, but I learned something new. I don't think he's really as injury riddled as maybe social media kind of make it seem. So all in all, they are about the same as far as who's coming off of serious injuries. Really, Nico. Upamecano's not really coming off. You could say cartilage damage that had him out about 2 months. You can't say that, but he has been starting for Bayern for the most part. I didn't mean to go back here. If I go and look at his last few matches, played 1 game with France, 90 minutes, solid rating against Union Berlin. So his league form, he played the full 90 against PSG and had a fair rating. He didn't play against Leverkusen. Who did they go with? If he was a healthy scratch, who was there? Todd and Kim. Okay, fair enough. But looking at Upamecano, I mean, he played in another Champions League match. He played in the big game against Dortmund. And the games that he's been playing, he's been solid. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't think Barcelona is in a position to where they can turn their nose up at any of these opportunities that comes up. Solid rating, 7.0 against Chelsea in a 3-1 win. Like, I'm gonna be real. If I had to pick between the two, I would probably still go with Nico, but I would take either or. I think this is a perfect market opportunity to go after 2 players that you know will walk into your starting 11. I believe. Cabarsi, we're looking for somebody next to Cabarsi. This is really what this is, because if we really trusted Ronald Araujo, we wouldn't be looking for another center back, or we'd be looking for a squad type of player, not somebody who's good enough to command high wages and come in and start. So we're looking for somebody to start next to Cabarsi. Ronald Araujo may be the rotational center back, along with Eric Garcia as well. I do think we're still looking for the Inigo Martinez replacement, and we're also going to replace Andrea Christensen, I believe. I believe he wouldn't mind staying, but I don't know if the club is going to send him a renewal. So because of that, I don't expect to see Christensen here. So we technically going to be going for 2 center backs. And if we can get 1 quality, like starting quality center back for either cheap in Nico because he has a year left and he don't want to extend, or completely free in Upamecano, I'm going to be real. I would take it. If you're good enough to start for Dortmund, especially if you're good enough to start for Bayern Munich, Champions League nights, and you may look at the Bundesliga different than I do, but I'm not saying I'm going to act like it's the best league in the world, but it's a respectable enough league to where if you're starting for Bayern game in and game out, and you're putting up good performances, and your injury rap sheet is not as bad as what it seems when you really go and look it up, this almost kind of convinced me that I would rather Upamecano, just because the fact that he would be free. Now, I'm sure he's going to want high wages. That may be a problem. And I'm sure he's going to have a lot of offers, including the Premier League. So that is an interesting aspect, because once you're a free agent, it's up to you. You want a signing bonus. I know Konate is going to be a free agent probably next summer, and I believe that's going to be Real Madrid's move. So I don't know how active they're going to be for a center back, for Upamecano in particular. I know they normally like to sign players on a free, but I don't know if they're going to target him if they already been working with Konate. So that'd be interesting to see. But look, I look at both of those players, and I believe both of them can come in and help. I believe both of them can come in and start. Maybe not right off the rip, once they get used to the high line and all that. And once we get into November, December, I can see those guys being starters week in and week out as long as they're available. And we're looking at their injury history. Both of them really not that bad. If anything, like I said, it's Nico, the one that's coming off the long-term injury, but he's been playing for the most part. Hasn't had the best performances in the Champions League. His numbers really only look really good against Bundesliga competition. So for a German, you would want to know how well would he adapt, especially at a club like Barcelona where there's a lot of pressure. As far as Upamecano, I think this video, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, this video has kind of made me lean more towards Upamecano, because he will be free, because his injury history is really not that bad. Sure, he makes mistakes. A lot of these center backs make mistakes, but it's about having quality squad depth in a position of need, and center back is that. It's nice to see that the board is focusing on that, because a lot of times if the fans feel we need something, that don't always guarantee that the board is going to follow suit and then try to find that position. So I want to know what I want to know what you guys think about this. So I do. If you had to pick between the two, first of all, what do you think about both of the options? Do you think they're good enough? Would you want them? And if you had to pick between the two, which one would you go with and why? Like I said, I started off with Nico, but I think Upamecano is the one that I'm leaning towards. But I do think either one of these two can come in and help. But it is nice to see that the board is going after a position in need. So I don't want to hold you guys' time up too much. I just wanted to get on this topic because I didn't have a chance to speak on this. But again, definitely let me know what you guys think. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'm appreciating the love I'm beginning. Like I said, I'm sorry I haven't really been too consistent on my videos. Life is lifing, but I ain't gonna make that an excuse. So like I said, subscribe if you haven't, like the video, and make sure y'all leave a comment, man. Let's go ahead and get a discussion going on this, man. Maybe we can help the Barcelona board make the right decision. But until then, I'm gonna catch up with y'all in the next video. Two Tone out.